What are you holding on to right now that's keeping you from being at peace? And when I say peace, I don't mean that aesthetic version of peace, kumbaya, meditating, got your cucumber spa water, in your bubble bath, chilling. I mean that deep, soul level peace where your jaw actually remains in a state of unclench. There's no tension here where you carry it in your face and you don't feel that tension in your body. I hope y'all are answering and not just giving me crickets, because given the state of the world, and if you're watching this from America, if you are feeling at peace, girl, put me on, tell me how, because I would love to know how you stay at peace despite what is going on in the world, child. For me, I feel like perfectionism has been like a toxic bestie that I never asked for. It's that voice in your head that's telling you everything has to be flawless, and if it's not, then you failed. And you're a failure. Not only did you fail, but you yourself are a failure. Point blank, period. That's who you are. That is what perfectionism is like to me. It's that super duper toxic relationship with yourself. Turns out trying to control every outcome is a one-way ticket to burnout universe. And as a double earth sign, a Capricorn ruled by Saturn, I am literally quite the definition of always wanting to do things perfect. I'd rather it be perfect and done than just be done and not perfect. And yet here we are. And yet here we are. So today we're talking about the freedom of what it looks like to choose peace over perfection, even when that looks and feels like a hot ass mess. And you don't have to take it from me, but as someone who's definitely chosen perfection over peace many a times, I feel very qualified to now talk about what it feels like and the benefits of choosing peace over perfection, because baby, I am a new woman. Okay, the me of the past was dealing with some things that had me looking and side-eyeing and being like, girl, is you okay? Is you okay? Like, what are we doing? You still haven't started that business that you planned out on your laptop in 2021 because you're trying to make it perfect. And yet here we are in 2025 and it's not even done, let alone perfect. So at least start. But that's just me to me. That's just me to me, to myself all the time, daily. Let me paint you a picture. It's 2 a.m. and I'm on my couch spiraling about something I said or didn't say earlier that day. I'm wondering if my tone was right, if I said everything that needed to get said, if I was missing any points, how was my delivery? Should I have even said that in a text message? I'm running through all of the ways I definitely could have said whatever I said a lot better. And now, of course, the doom starts to settle in. Obviously, obvious doom. And while I could have and should have just leaned into acceptance, right? Because what's done is done. The past is in the past. You can't change it. Perfectionism said, hey, girl, how you doing? Instead of sleep, let's actually overanalyze this for the next 3 hours while you play one of those 90 rom-coms in the back. Yeah. Last night, that rom-com was Woo with Jada Pickett, and oh my gosh, I forget that man's name, but I know he plays Barnell Hill on Martin. And I've seen that movie Woo before, but why did I stay up till 2 a.m. watching it last night? Because your girl was in here spiraling over what I could have done, what I should have done, what I could have said, what I should have said, what I should have done in my career 5 years ago, the path I actually should have been on 7 years ago, what I should have ate for breakfast this morning. And it's like, girl, go to bed. It is 2 a.m. Perfectionism is that annoying little gnat that just kind of sneaks up on you every now and again. Whether you're obsessing over work or trying to maintain picture perfect relationships or aiming for some fantasy version of growth where now you envision yourself as Issa Rae, the multi-hyphenate queen, the go-getter who has it all done perfectly. And I'm sure if you were to ask Issa, she would never say, oh, everything is perfect. She's a Capricorn. I already know. But the emotional toll of perfectionism is freaking exhausting. Exhausting. At its worst, it's left me feeling anxious, stuck, shame, overwhelmed, like I'm constantly behind in life. Like no matter what I do to catch up, I will never quite catch up. And while I'm definitely still working on my relationship with perfectionism, I'm realizing that literally no one has been holding me to these crazy standards that I placed on myself. No one but me, of course. Me, obviously. So I asked myself, what would it look like if I just stopped? Like if I just stopped right now, what would life be like? And spoiler alert, nothing imploded. Things did not crash and burn. It was not like the meme of the dog sitting in the fire and saying, "This is fine." Instead of focusing on perfection, now I focus on done. Because the more you do, the better you'll get. And the closer to perfect you'll become. But the more you strive for perfection, the less you actually get done. And the further and further away you get from that vision of perfection. But at the same time, choosing peace sounds cute, right? Like it's all journaling and bubble baths and spa dates. Wrong. I mean, that would be nice, but and not to say that you don't do those things when you're at peace, but that is not what the picture of peace actually looks like. It's actually messy as hell, learning to choose peace over perfection. For me, it's been about setting and also enforcing boundaries, because it's one thing to set your boundaries, but if you don't follow through with the enforcing of them, then like, what does it matter? I've learned to say no more despite the guilt. And I don't mean just no for the sake of saying no, right? Because I'm not here to just be flaky or a bad friend, but being honest with people about where I'm at and them clearly and easily being able to understand my no, because I've been vulnerable and transparent up until that no. So the no is almost just a courtesy. And I mean no hard stop, not no explanation. No, period, end of sentence. Full sentence. Even right now, I've actually been filming a day in the life vlog today, and there are several things I've fallen behind on. But guess what? It's all getting done and it's all coming out well. But imagine if I decided to focus on perfection. I wouldn't be sitting here right now filming this video. I wouldn't have gotten through nearly my entire to-do list for today. Old me, who would have focused on perfection, would have gotten maybe one or two things done and then been overwhelmed by all of the unchecked items on my to-do list. But current me, who chooses peace and who chooses acceptance and just gets it done anyway, it's like not only am I more at peace, but I'm operating at a more confident version of myself. I'm operating from a place of known confidence, of just knowing who I am, trusting myself to always deliver, and trusting God to always provide, even when my situation is very shaky. And right now, things are very shaky. So the fact that I'm even able to lean into peace when I think about my current life circumstances is a win in and of itself. And it's something that I am trying to just champion myself more for, to celebrate myself more for, something that I'm trying to be like, girl, look at all of what you're going through right now and all of what you're dealing with your personal life, with things going on with family members. Despite what's going on in the world, what's going on in America, what's going on in our freaking government, the ability to still be able to choose peace is so powerful. Like I said in that video where I talked about 3 life lessons that keep me out of a dark place, peace is a hell of a thing to waste. Peace is a hell of a thing to take for granted in a time like this. In the space where we are today, I'm not going to get political because that is not what this channel is about. But with where we are as a whole, as a society, as a group of humans, being able to lean into peace is one of the most powerful things you could probably do. And that doesn't mean choosing peace is easy. It just means, wow, how powerful are you that despite the chaos, you can choose to exist in peace. Nothing can disrupt your nervous system. And it's like, yes, are we all going to have our little crash outs here and there? But is it really going to completely upturn your nervous system? Not if you're choosing peace. And you know what's funny? Even just thinking about staying up last night till 2 a.m. watching that movie Woo with Jada, her character was all about trying to pull Tim out of focusing so much on perfection. Like he was in such a miserable place, not because his life was miserable, but because he was so just calculated and in his shell and just trying to be in control of everything about himself, that he was afraid to just have fun, to just go with the flow, to just find acceptance. And it was so beautiful by the end of the movie to see this like 18-wheeler truck just come and smash his Porsche that he finally got back from his ex-girlfriend. And Wu just being like, it's okay. I think you look better in a Porsche anyway. And he's like, you know what? You're right. Speaking about peace and acceptance and just rolling with the punches, why would the camera just die? Why would the camera just die mid statement? All I can do is laugh about it because it's just like, that's cute. That's funny. Anyways, now that I'm on this new camera, I only have 20% battery. So we're gonna wrap this up, speed it up. It's so ironic that it would happen while I'm specifically talking about this topic because I feel like it was God's way of testing. Like, have you really learned to choose peace over perfection? Because old me definitely would have spiraled by now and been trying so hard to get my phone back on. But current me is just like, it's fine. Let's move on. Oh, now I got 10% battery. Okay. Let me speed it up. So picking back up where I left off, peace means letting go of unrealistic expectations and timelines for myself. I was convinced that by 30, I needed to have everything figured out. I needed to have my life together and that there was no room for failure or mistakes. Okay, so you don't have it all together by 30. What now? Does that mean your life is going to spontaneously combust? Of course not. Like, of course not. It also means that if you thought you were going to have it all figured out by 30, did you think you were not going to grow anymore? That you were just going to hit a ceiling and be at your best self at 30 magically? But the way I envisioned 30 when I was 21 or even younger was obviously different from what I think about my 30s now as a 32-year-old. Turns out that life doesn't care about arbitrary deadlines. Those are something that we create and we place on ourselves in our lives. Choosing peace means embracing exactly where you are right now, exactly as things are right now. And while that sounds all nice, it also sounds like concepts of a plan. So here are actual ways that choosing peace is showing up in my life today. Right now, it means catching myself when my brain goes into overdrive. Like, is this worth losing sleep over? Is this worth losing time over? Or can we just move forward? It also means prioritizing daily movement. And even if that means I didn't get to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym at 6 a.m., even if that means that I got to go to the gym at 1 p.m. or I got to get my daily movement in at 8 p.m. It's just trying to get it in. And I'm not perfect. There are definitely days where I don't always move my body, but the intention is there. And so is the acceptance. It also means reframing my inner monologue from I'm a failure, I am failing, to I'm figuring it out, and that's okay. That's enough. You're okay. You're enough. It's okay. And these are small shifts, right? Catching myself when I'm overthinking, moving my body, reframing how I talk to myself. They're small things, but they're not the easiest to do, which is why it's taken me time to get here and which is why I'm still learning, growing, and working on it. But the wildest thing about all of this is that once you finally do choose peace, everything else feels lighter. Everything feels calmer, even when you're not. Even when things aren't actually calm, they feel that way. And the more I'm able to take my brain out of perfectionist overdrive, the more present I'm able to be. The more present I'm able to be in my body, with my friends, with God, just the more present I'm able to be and the more observant I'm able to be. I also feel like my creative spark is coming back. Like I have all these ideas and not only do I have them, but I'm getting them done. I'm trying them, I'm seeing what works. And it's largely because I'm no longer paralyzed by fear. And it doesn't mean I don't still get afraid. It just means that despite the fear, I do it anyway. And that is courage. That is what courage is. And now that I'm no longer paralyzed by fear, life is more fun. Even when things are shit, life is better. Like imagine that. Being an adult and having fun despite your responsibilities? Like what a foreign concept. Like but it's really all about your mindset. And the best part about peace is that it's contagious. So when you choose it, others around you start to choose it. And when others around you start to choose it, it becomes easier for you to continue choosing it. It's this lovely little cycle. It's like all of a sudden your group chat went from, oh my God, how do we figure it out? How are we going to do it? How are we going to get it together? To, you know what? Actually, maybe we're all doing fine after all. Maybe life is actually not so bad and we all just need to take a chill pill and calm out. But here's the thing, peace is a daily choice. It's not some magical place you just arrive to after reading 27 self-help books and watching a million videos on YouTube. Not this one, definitely say and finish watching this one. It's about making tiny decisions every day and every moment to Release yourself from what's weighing you down and embracing what it is, messy and all. And like I said, I know that can be easier said than done, but it is worth trying to commit yourself to. So here's my challenge for you. Where in your life currently can you choose peace over perfection? Where in your life currently are you choosing perfection over progress? I'm genuinely curious because what peace looks like for me now might not work for me even a week from now. So I'm curious to know, what are you guys doing and where in your life can you choose peace more than you are currently? I'd love to know, sound off in the comments. Let's start a discussion. Let's have a little chit chat because I really am curious. I feel like I still have so much to learn in the department of learning to choose peace and releasing being a perfectionist. And on that note, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Uncharted Wellness, and also for being a part of this beautifully imperfect pocket of the internet. I deeply appreciate you guys showing up, whether this is your first time or you've really been rocking with me strong. My appreciation goes further than any words can say. Without further ado, unclench your jaw, let go of the tension in your body, and go drink some water because you might be dehydrated, and that's probably why it's hard for you to choose peace and acceptance right now. So until next time, love you down. Bye. Audio testing, testing, 1, 2. We're gonna back it up and dump it back it up and dump it. Cause he like her and he like her too. All right, that sounds good. Let's do it.